going to do a video today of everything that we eat in a day. I'm starting with breakfast, and while the bacon is cooking, I'm going to take my prenatal. Okay, Anna wants to see too. Can you say hi? I'm going to take my prenatal while the bacon's cooking before I start the eggs. And I use this prenatal. I have not taken prenatal vitamins with either of my first two because I just can't stomach them, even when I'm not sick anymore. From the nausea, I can't stomach them. So my midwife suggested that I try the liquid, and it's really not bad. I do chase it down with apple juice, just because, I don't know, it might just be a mental thing. Yeah, but I do take this every day. Yeah, and you take 2 tablespoons. So I'm gonna do that. Check the bacon and then get started on the eggs. Okay, so I actually need to go into town today. I need to go pick up my medical records from the first place that I went for my ultrasound so that I can give them to my midwife. So we're gonna go into town, grab those, probably grab some groceries. Come here. Probably grab some groceries and then, yeah. Can you say hi? Okay, so I had dropped Nova off at a friend's while we went into town, and so I stopped to grab them some yummy cookies. I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so for dinner, I am going to make some ground venison that I picked up from Earth Fare today because I forgot to take meat out of the fridge, or out of the freezer. So I'm going to make ground venison with squash and zucchini, some spices, and then I've got some rice going as well. And so sometimes I put the rice in the dish with it, and then sometimes I just separate it and we just pour the meat and vegetable mixture on top of the rice. That's what we're having for dinner tonight. I've got my meat started and I'm going to add the spices. So I'm going to start with paprika. I always use paprika. And then I'm going to add some garlic powder, which I need to get more of. And then I'm going to add onion powder. And normally I would just put onion in here before I put my meat. But I'm still kind of scared to cook with onions since I'm just now getting over being sick from smells and stuff. So I've just been using onion powder and stuff, and not even a lot of that because I'm just scared that I won't be able to eat it. And then I'm going to add some parsley. and I will let that start cooking, and I'll mix it up, and then I'm going to add my vegetables, my squash and zucchini. Okay, so my meat is done. I'm going to add my zucchini and squash in. And I think I'm actually going to grab a can of corn and maybe even some black beans from the pantry and add that in as well. The corn, because I know that Anley will at least eat that, and the rice. She'll probably eat the meat too, but I'll probably just put it in here anyways. And normally I would put the squash and zucchini in with the onion in the beginning, and then add the meat, and then add the corn and the black beans, or whatever else I was going to add. But since I didn't do onion this time, I'm just adding this in now. I'm just going to let it cook for a few minutes, and then I'll add some corn in, and maybe even some black beans, and then call it a night, because my rice is done, so this is the last thing we need to get done, and then we'll just mix it all together. And it's actually really filling because it's got the rice in it and then all this meat. So yeah, I think it'll fill us up, and we should have some leftovers too for lunch tomorrow. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I'll show you. Okay, actually new plan, because I went to the pantry and apparently I used the last can of corn last time I used corn, and I don't remember. So we're not gonna put corn in it, but I am gonna add diced tomatoes. And we're just gonna call it a night, because I just don't feel like adding black beans. Because I had the lentils at lunch, which kind of look like black beans. Anyways, so I'm just gonna add the diced tomatoes, and then that's it. Call it a night. If she eats it, she eats it. If she doesn't, she doesn't.